All right. Good morning, everybody. It is 9:30, November 9th. We are in I guess, the second week now of November, and things are looking great. Real estate's super hot. Market's doing well, and everything is looking good. The one thing today that we actually got recommended for us from one of our agents. So if you guys have topics that you guys want to discuss or have something talked about on Mondays, please feel free to reach out to us. I know we sent an email out last week. So this is one of those replies, and it is a good one. We're talking about deeds, and why are deeds so important, right? Deeds are important because it is the document that's transferring the ownership of the property from one person to the other person. It is something that has to be recorded because Texas is a first come, first served state. So if you were the first one to file a deed or file a transaction, you are going to be first in line. So we want to make sure whenever deeds get transferred, they get recorded in the county clerk. And that basically shows that, hey, I own this property, nobody else owns this property, and nobody can come and take my property. However, that is dependent on what kind of deed you get. In the state of Texas, we have four most common types of deeds, and we're going to go from the top to the bottom on best to worst types of deed. So on the top, we have general warranty deeds. This is going to be your top premier. We have special warranty deeds. We have deeds without warranty, and then we have quick claim deeds. So with those four, we're going to go in order and talk a little bit about them. So a general warranty deed, this is your bread and butter. This is your typical type of deed that you're going to get that all of your buyers want, and that your title companies are going to push to ensure for the most part, right? So all of our wonderful contracts claim and state that we are going to get a general warranty deed passed on to the buyer, dependent on the transaction, right? So this is going to be the type of deed that warrants everything from the day that piece of property was sold off to the first purchaser all the way up until the current purchaser. It basically states that you, as the current note holder, as the current buyer, own clear and free title from anybody else that's going to come in and claim against it. So title insurance is going to come and we're going to say we insure this property for time in itself from anybody who else is going to try and come and say, hey, I own this piece of property. It was gifted to me back in 1990, and we're now in 2020, and they want to say that, blah blah blah, we own the property, here's a transfer. But that general warranty deed is stating and has some teeth behind it, basically stating that no, nobody else owns this. When we did the searches, we did all the research, and nobody popped up, and so nobody else can come and claim this property from you. um Moving on next, right? So the special warranty deed is what comes after that. So from the general rule, you have, for in perpetuity, in time, you are protected. With a special warranty deed, that basically only means that the grantor who's passing on the deed to the new purchaser only guarantees it from when they've owned the property. So anything prior to when they've owned it, something could come up, somebody could claim ownership, and it doesn't cover that, right? It only covers up until the person granting that, moving forward. You typically see this in foreclosures, because whenever things are getting signed off, the banks are signing off on this information, signing off on these sales, and so they can't, in a sense, guarantee that nobody else is going to come and claim things because they're not the technical grantee from when they purchased the property. So they're foreclosing on that property and basically saying, hey, from where this person owns it, we're guaranteeing that and nothing else. So when you buy something from a foreclosure, you're more than likely going to get a special warranty deed, but that's not to say that it can't go back into a general warranty deed upon another sale, right? The title company has to just go and search and see if there is anything else on that title. And if there's not, then we can convert it back into a general warranty deed, no problem. The next one is a deed without warranty. So basically, this is an owner of some sort, basically claiming that I don't warrant anything. You're going to take this property as is. If anybody else tries to come and claim this, claim that their ownership is valid, then that's at your own risk. There is no teeth behind that, and they can come and try and fight you um, fight you for that property, right there. You don't have that protection on you. And then the last one is a quick claim deed. So quick claim deed really isn't a deed transfer. It's more of a release. And so what that means is basically stating that I give away my rights. I don't really need anything. And this is typically happening when you meet heirs, or when you get into the title company and then heirs start popping up. They had no idea what's going on, or that they even own this piece of property. And typically you just get these people or the following party to just sign off on it saying, hey, I don't own any interest in this property. I'm relinquishing any claim. I'm getting rid of any liability on the property, whatever the case may be. And I'm passing that on. I'm getting out of the deal and moving on with that. Same with the deed without warranty. A lot of the times that's the same happens as well, is you can kind of use them interchangeably when relinquishing and getting rid of heirs and parties. So whenever you are going through a transaction, let's say for one of your investors, that one of the parties is out of state, one of the parties had no idea they even owned the property. You're going through probate, or some sort of legal matter that things are being dispersed to heirs. A lot of the times when finding those heirs and finding those people, we're getting them to sign a warranty without a deed without warranty, or a quick claim deed, just to kind of get them off the picture. A lot of the times you have to pay them a few $100. Nobody likes to do anything for free, especially when there's money on the table from a sale. So those are the type of things. But for the most part, we want general warranty deeds, because this is what's going to provide our clients the most protection out of any of the deeds. And special warranties are okay, just with the hope that we can, move them back into general warranties. But if you do own a special warranty, it's not a huge cause for concern. The likelihood that somebody is going to come back after that sale and try to claim the rights to it is very, very low. I haven't seen it in my career at all, and so it's a pretty rare thing. However, generals are the main thing. So I had a quick question from Miss Marta this morning, who's on the call, and she ran into a little situation where on BCAD, the house shows that it was originally transferred from or it was for sale on a general warranty deed, but then when the sale happened, it moved into a special warranty deed. And she was kind of just confused on what does that mean, what's going on, and how does that happen. So for the most part, how that happens, and a lot of the time it's just from people not understanding the types of deeds and what those deeds do. So when transferring title, a lot of people think that special warranty deeds are the top of the top because of the name, because it says special and it's something different, right? But when in reality, the general warranty deed is something that is generally encompassing and takes care of the entirety of the deed. So sometimes the sellers go, well, I want to pass on a special warranty deed, thinking that it's what the general warranty is giving them. And that and then the buyer just accepts it as the special warranty. There may not have been a huge legal switch or anything. A lot of the times it's just because the owner, or he didn't know what he was talking about, and he just didn't want to warrant anything behind him. He may have picked it up at a foreclosure, or he bought it somewhere else. The previous buyer that he had it was on a general, and then when he bought it, he got a special. And BCAD may not have updated their system, because when you buy it from a foreclosure, you buy it from a bank or something, you're given a special warranty. So, and then it takes maybe 3 or 4 months before those BCAD systems are updated. So he may have purchased it, got a special warranty, and then just passed on that special warranty again to the new purchaser after he bought it. which is another common case dealing with a lot of the foreclosures. You do get those special warranties just because the banks and these trustees aren't warranting anything. It's a sale happening on the courthouse steps. They're not doing any title research. It's basically saying, hey, from this person on, we're going to guarantee it from there and nothing else. But not to say that we can't go back, have title, run the searches, run and see if there's any other claims, any other notes, any other lien positions, and basically then issue a general warranty after the fact, which is pretty common, to say the least, which is pretty good. And I mean, that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, the deeds in Texas are pretty self explanatory. I mean, it reads, it's probably about a 2-page document. It goes over the meets and bounds of the property from this corner to this corner, kind of like a survey. Talks about your lot, your block. If there's a loan holder or note holder, basically which is going to be your bank, hey, this is the deed with this, with a note of this amount when the deed was originally taken out, basically showing, and it's all public record. So whenever people go and say, well, how do they know how much money I own, or how do they know, the equity in my house? It's because everything's public record. All of these deeds are public, and you can find them all on the what is it, the Texas, I'm blanking right now. Hold on. The county clerk's office. There we go. The Texas County Clerk's office. You can go ahead and log on. You have to create an account. It's a free account. And then you can start pretty much looking at any deed or any public information that's tied to anybody's property. And if you want to learn a little bit more about that, let me know, and we can do a small training on that and show you what to look for when looking for these deeds. You can also look for any liens that are on properties, any judgments, any mechanics or vendors, liens type stuff. I mean, literally anything that attaches to the property or that gets filed with the county, you can see. So if you ever are looking to purchase a home or sell a home, look up your client's records and say, hey, I know on your seller's disclosure you said there were no liens or there was no extra this, but I did a little bit of extra research. Can you bring into light what this is? Because more than likely later on down the line we're going to have an issue. Title's going to flag it, and what's going on, right? You don't want to be too invasive, but at the same time, understand your client, know what's going on, because the last thing you want to do is get surprised while you're in the middle of a transaction. And then you have 4 different heirs, 5 different people that are also on the chain of title that we now have to get signatures from. Hey, why didn't you tell me this other person was an owner of the property when we're trying to sell it? And so we want to make sure that your time and efforts are going into the right things. I know a lot of the times, we want to take our clients' word for everything and say, I trust that you're being honest with me. However, sometimes, that's not always the case, right? I think there's the saying in the industry, buyers are liars and sellers are storytellers, right? So always take things with a grain of salt. I know our buyers always say, yeah, I'm good to go. I have great this and that. But then once we start getting into the weeds of things and getting them pre-qualified and moving on to later on down the transaction, and then things pop up. Hey, well, why didn't you, tell us those things? We kind of need those things for you to get into this house. And now that things are starting to pop up, things aren't looking so good. And now we've just kind of wasted a lot of time. So always do a little bit of research in the background of your clients. That is one quick recommendation. But at the same time, you don't want to be too invasive and then call them out on everything, because that's obviously going to make them feel uncomfortable in a sense. But, do a little bit of background, see what's going on. And then at the same time, always, hey, be upfront with me. I'm here for you. I'm here to represent you to the best of my ability, but I can only do that if you're being 100% honest with me in everything we're doing. And then, so that's pretty much it. I want to kind of, I know Marta's a little busy right now, but Mr. Terry, I know you had some showings yesterday, and I wanted to see how that went.
Oh, and sorry, the client called me at the last minute and said he had to go back to work that day. He works for UPS, so I wasn't able to show him any houses. They went ahead and postponed it till next weekend.
Okay. So next Sunday then, let me know, Terry. I know you wanted me to accompany you this last Sunday and I couldn't make it for you. But just give me a time, keep me updated, and I'll be more than happy to go with you. Or even at the same time during the week, if you have some time, I mean, we can do a little mock showing. We'll schedule a property and you and me can just kind of go walk through it, kind of show you some of the easy ways to show a home, and then make you feel a little bit more confident. So if you wanted to do it by yourself on Sunday, that's perfectly fine. Or if you just want to wait till Sunday, I can come with you and we can just do it there together.
Okay, thank you. I'll talk to you more about that. Thank you.
Okay, sounds good, man. And then Mr. Phil, how are you? How was your weekend? I saw a lot of your apartment posts, which I love. And I just want to check on you and see how you're doing.
Yeah, so I finally started putting money into my marketing, and I picked up 2 clients from it on Saturday. Both of them are trying to move out within this week, and then I still had a client from Friday, so I had 3 clients from Friday and Saturday, and they're all trying to see apartments today. So I'm kind of working through that and getting it all set.
Cool. So you did some promotions or like paid ads on Facebook?
Yeah, I just did the paid advertisements. I put 2 of them up originally. One of them was getting a lot more traction than the other, and then I put the third funny one up just to see what would happen.
Mm-hmm.
And that one's getting more traction, so I'm kind of figuring out which ones are working and which ones aren't.
That's awesome, man. I love to hear that. Super cool. I know Facebook has some pretty cool features with that marketing and that advertisement. Have you gone into any like geofencing or kind of moving in for that?
I'm just kind of leaving it very vast. I mean, one of the apartments we're looking at is on the south side of town, down by South Park Mall, and then another one is over by our side of town, and then another one's over in the medical center. So I'm really just trying to work the entire San Antonio market, just for now, just because I'm starting out.
Very cool, very cool. And then also, don't forget to have those conversations. I know you know, but don't forget to have those conversations about buying, right? I mean, making sure that, hey, if you know you're having to put down, I mean, probably close to $3,000 for this down payment for this apartment. I mean, more than likely, we can try and find you a house for that same payment monthly, as well as maybe even a down payment. We can look for down payment assistance if your credit's pretty decent. If you make a decent amount of money, qualify. So just make sure to have those conversations with them and try and see if we can get a buyer out of them.
Most definitely. I'll definitely keep that in mind.
Cool. Well, I think, oh, Miss Sherry, there you are. Hey, how are you? And how's everything going? We're kind of going around at this point. We've talked a little bit about deeds this morning. But if you have any questions that you wanted to ask, now's the time. Miss Sherry, are you there?
Hi. Yeah, sorry.
Hey, how are you?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I'm okay. Sorry I'm late. I was trying to set up my satellite connections. It's kind of slow, but it's working finally.
Well, we're hearing you just fine. Everything seems to be working well. Did you have any questions about deeds or any questions at all about what you're working on?
No, just trying to get this one property sold, Garden Ridge, that got back on the market, and it's just not getting a lot of showings like it used to. I don't know, what's the market? What's everybody seeing? Let me turn this down. Can't move.
I mean, for the most part, I haven't seen too much. I mean, everything's been pretty constant in my eyes. Everything's been moving pretty quickly. And for some reason, yeah, like you said, I'm not 100% sure because I know everybody's wanting more acreage, more land, wanting to move just outside of the city, which Garden is, and it's a perfect location. So honestly, it's hard to say why it's not moving like it was before. It really is interesting.
Well, we increased the price, but it was only 19,000, and the two appraisals came back high. So I don't know what to think. Maybe we should drop it back down.
Well, have you maybe put in the remark, I haven't checked, but is it in the remarks basically stating that it is priced under appraised value, or are we already have an appraisal? And maybe put that into the associated
Yeah,
document.
I did put that. Yeah, you mean the appraisal itself?
Yeah, put it in there. It's
Or-
so people can see that, hey, wow, okay, this house is appraised. I mean, it's worth the value that it is. And let's market it that way. Just basically stating like, I mean, it's worth what it is in weight, and whether so that way they don't have to think, oh well, it's overpriced. We know it's not overpriced because we have the appraisals, and here are the appraisals. Um, Another option would be
I don't have the actual appraisals because the buyers didn't provide, give that, but I talked to the appraisers and they said, yeah, it met value or more.
Is there any way maybe we can reach out to those agents and see if they're willing to, relinquish those? I mean, they really don't have any use for them, but it would definitely benefit us on our sale. And even if we had to pay them maybe $100 or so, I mean, I think it's
Well, they should, one should give it to, because they dropped that one, just dropped it and gave the excuse of COVID.
yeah.
But I think that they actually separated, the buyers
Uh-huh.
separated is what I think happened.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But I mean, we can't fight something like COVID.
Yeah, exactly. And I understand that. But at the same time, like, let's see if maybe they'll be willing to at least give us, or, I mean, sell us or something, give us at a discount, something to show and prove our value. Because really that's going to be the main thing is most people are going to say, well, is it worth that? And I don't want to go down the rabbit hole to find out. So if we can show them and prove to them it is worth what we're saying it's worth and more, then maybe that'll give us a more of an edge to say and get them out of their heads overthinking the property when we know that it's worth what it's worth.
Yeah. Okay. I'll reach out to them.
Yeah, and then another option,
Yeah.
I don't know how flexible the wheats are, right? But at the same time, maybe because I know we have an inspection report on it, we have the appraisal on it, and depending on how high did you say that last appraisal was? About 10, 15?
Yeah, we had it at 499 and it appraised over 5.
Okay,
That's all they told me.
that's all they told.
Mhm.
Okay. So my thought there also would be maybe kind of to try to do an as is thing. Hey, provide them with the inspection report, or provide them with the appraisal, show, hey, we're 10K undervalue, as is sale, take it, blah blah blah. I mean, just kind of market it more along the lines of, hey, we are undervalued, we know we're undervalued, so come and pick this thing up.
Okay, yeah, and I mean, if they don't have to order an inspection and they don't have to order an appraisal, those were all third party, that we didn't order them, so that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'll call the agents and let them know that have showed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good
That-
idea.
I think that'd be a good idea, as well as, just retouching base with everybody. I know MLS has the list of everybody who's shown it. Just get them back on the phone and see who's still looking for that kind of property.
Cool. Yeah, I'll do that. Still, hey,
Mhm.
I missed your right to first refusal. I need to go back and look at that video.
Okay.
But my 6 acres that just went under contract, it's based on, you can only use that, is that correct? If the buyer has a contingency,
Correct.
or can you use that for only a contingency,
Only a contingent.
like selling your home?
Yeah, like once the seller signs on those contracts, that's their agreement. They can no longer back out unless there's a contingency to be able to accept another offer. So in those addendums, that the addendum concerning the need to sell the property before buying a new one, in that verbiage it states that the seller can still accept another offer. So basically the current buyers have a right of first refusal. So what that means is if the seller gets a new offer, they have to let the current buyer know, hey, we received another offer. If you don't give us an extra amount of money within a certain amount of days, we can terminate this one and accept the new one. Basically giving that
Okay,
current,
so I have to stipulate that in the contract then,
huh?
is what you're saying. I have to stipulate that somewhere in the contract. It's
Already,
not
it's already
just,
stipulated in the addendum.
okay. What addendum? I didn't put one in there.
Concerning the addendum concerning the sale of another property, something, I believe that's the title of it.
Okay. Oh, I didn't do that. I have to initiate that and complete it, is what you're saying.
No, well, yeah, well, so if the buyer who had to sell their property initially, so the buyer that's buying your Elm Street house should have provided that because they have to sell their other home.
Okay, they did.
Okay,
But I didn't,
Go ahead.
I don't remember them seeing an extra amount of earnest money, like
They-
another, that should have been on the first contract or the original one before,
Yeah.
right?
On the original submission, there should have been an addendum concerning the need to sell their property to buy this property.
Right.
And it outlines, okay, if we receive another offer within this day, then you as the current buyers need to put in an extra $2,500 for us to waive the right to terminate and accept the new offer.
Okay, there's a step I've missed. I'll have to call you.
Okay,
I'll call you.
okay,
Okay, thanks.
okay. Well, then that sounds good. Everybody, I hope y'all gained a little bit more knowledge. If y'all need anything at all, please feel free to give me a call. And if y'all want another topic discussed on here, feel free to reach out and we will get some goodies for you guys. Until then, feel free to reach out anytime and I will see y'all later.
Thanks.
Bye.